prophets could see far ahead in the dark breaking through. Peace is the dream that it seemed might not ever come true. Love is the promise that God would make a way. Joy is the gift of a Christmas day. Hope is the star that the wise men could follow by night in the search for a king. Peace is the song that the angels taught shepherds to sing. Love is the baby born on a bed of hay. Joy is the gift of a Christmas day. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Love is the wonder that shone on his mother's face that very first Christmas day. Hope is the need of a world still in darkness today, still estranged from the light. Peace is the prayer of a people still trapped in the fight. Love is God's answer to all of the prayers we pray. And joy is the gift of a Christmas. This and every Christmas. Joy is the gift of a Christmas day. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hello, Crescent Music Club, and thank you for inviting me to be with you. Thank you, Rosemary Curitan, for this invitation. Sorry we can't be together in person, but this is our best attempt to do something creative with what we're given, and it's an honor to be with you. My name is Kyle Matthews. I'm the Minister of Pastoral Care at First Baptist Greenville. Before that, I was for 20 years a songwriter on Music Row in Nashville. I wrote for BMG Music and for Universal Music Publishing. And had a great time. I traveled for about 30 years doing music in churches and colleges and conferences, just to bring sort of a new perspective through songwriting to those events. I remember when I told my mom and dad that I wanted to be a songwriter when I grew up, and they said, well, you can't do both. So I know songwriting is not perceived by many people to be a legitimate job, but it was great fun for me to do that for several decades. And I still love to write songs, especially in a church context where I feel like there's a missing link. Now, obviously, at Christmas time, there's plenty of Christmas music, more than we could ever hope to use or hear. And it's all above average music. Christmas music is just superior music to the rest of the stuff we have to listen to every year. Even the commercial Christmas music is just better commercial music. But in the church, I have found that there are some really important themes that are part of our theology that are preached and taught but not sung. There are some funny things that need to be addressed at Christmas that our songs could address. Anyway, as a songwriter, our job is not to duplicate. We don't want to add to the Christmas catalog for no reason. So we look for those themes that are unaddressed and write a song about something that maybe is a fresh thought. Anyway, that's the idea. The songs you'll hear are about that. I've just sung for you a song called Hope peace, love, joy. Hope, peace, love, joy. Because for me, in the church that I'm a part of, Advent is a really important part of our theological. We don't just celebrate Christmas, but the journey to Christmas is very important to us for our spiritual development and for our spiritual maturation. We walk through hope and we walk through peace seeking and we look for love and we celebrate joy as a way of preparing ourselves for the birth of Christ. I don't know of a lot of Advent songs, so those are the verses that you just heard, just an attempt to sort of fill in, teach children something about Advent, make something memorable that would stay with us to help us keep those themes alive for us and applied for us, so that when Christmas has been done many times, many ways, we can think about where's hope for me this year? Where's peace? Where can I find peace now during COVID? What love do I need to express? Where do I see love expressed? And what is worth celebrating joyfully this season? That is where we find Christmas anew in a new year. So the song I'd like to sing now, of course, is about the fact that children don't really think at that level about Christmas. Children simply have one thing on their minds at Christmas. We all know what it is. You probably heard about the child who was taken to see Santa Claus at the mall back when you were able to do that, and she sat on Santa's lap, and Santa said, "Ho ho ho! Have you been a good girl? What do you want for Christmas?" And the little girl just got this stricken look on her face, and she said, "Didn't you get my text?" So the kids are thinking about you know what. So I think the church needs a song about that. My children came to me one Christmas season and said, "How can you say that Jesus is the reason for all our Christmas joy? He's just a baby boy. But Santa is the man who delivers on the toys." I saw the trap, they said, they thought they had me. But once again they underestimated Daddy. And so I coolly said, "There's no great mystery. You'd know this if you'd study any history. Because everything that Santa knows, he learned from Jesus. Like how the finest gifts we give in secret. Like sneaking in on Christmas Eve in ways we'd never dreamed. Putting little children first. Everything that Santa knows, he learned from Jesus long ago." My children looked at me as if I turned bright blue. They think that Santa came from Madison Avenue. He's got the list of names, the North Pole ski chalet. He's got the hat, the suit, the shiny boots, the flying reindeer. I said before all that next generosity was inspired by Jesus' passion for the poor and weak. He was a devotee of Jesus' special way. That's why he always shows up here on Jesus' birthday. Because everything that Santa knows, he learned from Jesus. Like how the finest gifts we give in secret. Like sneaking in on Christmas Eve in ways we'd never dream. Putting little children first. Everything that Santa knows, he learned from Jesus. Everything he knows, he learned from Jesus. Everything he knows, he learned from Jesus long ago. When my kids were little and growing up, I told them that Jesus is the reason we celebrate Christmas, but that Santa is an example of the kind of person we become, the kind of heart we develop as we follow Jesus. And so there is a place for Santa at our Christmas, and there still is, as you can see. Another thought that I thought deserved a song was that during Advent, when we go through the long wait, I think one of the things that we learn is that we're pretty helpless to make something happen, even when it's something we want to happen or need to happen. Christmas is about relying on God to do something that we can't do for ourselves. I find that especially poignant in the story of Mary, where she's just given a task. She's just Her life is taken over by God's agenda, and she has to decide whether to cling to her own life or to go with what God has for her. And it occurred to me Christmas ago, too, that the prayer she prays is a prayer of willingness to be open to what God has, to be led instead of being in control of everything. And that prayer, while it's her prayer at Christmas, is really a disciple's prayer all the time. And so there's a little chorus that we have sung at Advent in our church. It's just a little bit of a song, but it's her prayer sung out of our mouths about our lives.
Let it be to me as you have said, for I am yours and you know best. You can see the road ahead of me. You can see the end I cannot see. I am just a child who must be led, so let it be to me as you have said. Let it be to me as you have said, for I am yours and you know best. You can see the road ahead of me. You can see the end I cannot see. I am just a child who must be led, so let it be to me as you have said.
I don't know if you like to decorate and plan and have big Christmases. COVID has certainly thrown a monkey wrench in all of that this year. But I will say that in years past, there's sort of a Murphy's Law about Christmas. The bigger we try to make it and the more special and the more effort we put into making Christmas perfect, Martha Stewart perfect, the bigger the disaster will tend to befall our Christmas. We've had flu visit us, and pipes burst, and cars break down, and just all kinds of stuff. It's as if the universe is out to get our Christmas if we take ourselves too seriously at Christmas. And I got to thinking about how that reflects that first Christmas a little bit. It was certainly not a picture-perfect Christmas, and we do well to remember that.
Was a postcard marked apologies. The Christmas gifts you've ordered aren't in stock. So I packed up the kids for Grandpa's house. Then a blizzard blew in and the car broke down. So we shared a quart of eggnog at a truck stop. And I said, now kids, this is unfortunate. You think it's bad? Well, it's inconvenient, but the most inconvenient Christmas ever was the first one when God came so far to give himself to us. So when the stress hits each December, how it helps me to remember God is with us most when things just can't get worse. The most inconvenient Christmas ever was the first. Got to Grandpa's house, his Christmas lights had burned it down, so we had to take him home to live with us. Then he couldn't stand to leave the farm, so now there's cattle in our yard. and the rooster at dawn. And I say now, honey, this is unfortunate. You think it's bad? Well, it's inconvenient, but the most inconvenient Christmas ever was the first one when God came so far to give himself to us. So when the stress hits each December, how it helps me to remember God is with us most when things just can't get worse. Ah, the most inconvenient Christmas ever was the first young girl expects a child she can't explain, forced to walk for 30 miles just to give birth in the hay, while the king at that same hour, fearing challenge to his power, sent his troops to track them down and wipe them out. Hands down, the most inconvenient Christmas ever was the first one. God came so far to give himself to us. So when the stress hits each December, how it helps me to remember God is with us most when things just can't get worse. Ah, the most inconvenient Christmas ever was the most inconvenient Christmas ever was, and the most inconvenient Christmas ever was the first. It was the first. Every year the season leads me far away to that place where you are still a newborn baby in the hay, sleeping safely. Timeless Christmas child, my heart holds you close tonight, 'cause I know what was to come, and I see what God has done. So each Christmas you could be born again in me. Happy parents first to greet you long ago. Could they know how desperately this world would need you? what God has done. So each Christmas you could be born again in me. Memory that cannot grow old, story evermore retold by those of us who've seen you walk from the cradle to the cross. Timeless Christmas child, my heart holds you close tonight, 'cause I know what was to come, and I see what God has done. So each Christmas you could be born again, and each Christmas you could be born again. Each Christmas you could be born again in me.
I know you're probably already getting mail hitting you up for your end of the year donations. By the way, I'm not asking for any. But I have thought a lot about what we're going to do this year for our giving. I know that it's hard to get approached all the time. And then there's other ways in which we're not people of a lot of wealth, and there's so much more we'd like to do than we can do. There's always a sort of a sense of inadequacy about that. I want to ask you to think about something this Christmas. I want you to think about what generosity would look like in your life if you couldn't use money to express it. What would you do as a Christmas gift? What would be your generosity? What would it look like this year if it had to be something other than money? That's a great question to me because it gets to the heart of who I'm going to be, not how much I'm going to spend, not how much I'm going to give, who I'm going to be. And what I believe about the church is that when we come together to give together with this attitude that we're going to give to God our Christmas offering, we may see God do things beyond anything we could ask or imagine. Because it's not about how much we give, as the widow's mite makes clear, but who we are and who we want to be, and what we will give to God. Merry Christmas.
I used to be that little boy who prayed for gifts at Christmas time, but these days I find more joy in seeing things made right. And I've wrapped a gift or two, but today I cannot say just how long my presents lasted or what difference they have made. So may the gifts we give this Christmas meet the needs that go unmet. May they heal the hurt between us. May they say what's gone unsaid. May we find at last in Jesus the gift we've always sought. And let the love we show each other be the gift we give to God. Must be some ghost of Christmas past is opening my eyes to all the chances I have had to bless somebody's life. Just like Ebenezer Scrooge on the night old Marley called and said the welfare of the world should be the business of us all. So may the gifts we give this Christmas meet the needs that go unmet. May they heal the hurt between us. May they say what's gone Christmas this would be if for once we'd put aside the selfishness that causes so much pain. And isn't Christmas after all about the gift that God sent us, the child who has led the way? May the gifts we give this Christmas meet the needs that go unmet. May they heal the hurt between us. May they say what's gone unsaid. May we find at last in Jesus the gift we've always sought. And let the love we show each other